Today we're going to... Sorry, I nearly died. Today we're going to be talking about a pen that is very special to me. Because it is the Omas 360 Magnum. That is a model that's no longer in production. There is a whole bunch of different Omas 360s. This was the original Magnum. Then there is the modern 360, which is, I think, a little bit thinner and a little shorter. It's very confusing because they often refer to that as the 360 vintage, but that doesn't mean it's an older pen. It's just a throwback to the old model, because at some point Omas revamped this model, made it rounder. I didn't really like it that much, but the traditional Magnum 360 I really loved. What's so unique about it? It's a triangular profile. So the entire pen, do not try to twist this cap, because they can actually break. The whole pen is triangular. Some people love it, some people hate it, and there seems to be very, very little in between. Backstory of the pen. 2011. January 2011, I had started recording fountain pen reviews, putting them on YouTube. September 2011, I attended my first pen show. Tilburg Pen Show in the Netherlands. I met up there with someone I got to know through the reviews, Sven, from Germany. He attended the show. At that point I had very few pens, and he said, I'm going to bring mine. And he gave me, it was wonderful, one of the beauties of a pen show. You sit down with like-minded people and a giant pen roll open, and he said, try this, and try this, and this. And I learned a lot from him, because he'd been in the pen, not business, but pen collecting for much longer than I have. And then he gave me this, not this particular pen, but this model. And I said, what's that? He said, Omas 360. And I said, that doesn't look comfortable. He said, try it. I tried it, immediately fell in love with it. So I went home, I went onto our Craigslist, Kijiji is sort of a site like that. And I found someone who was selling one with a fine nib. I bought it. I loved it, but it's a big pen and it doesn't fit into a lot of pen pouches. You need to have a really big pouch to accommodate this, because if I'm not mistaken, posted it's almost 7 inches. So it's a big pen, and you're also not really supposed to post it anyway. But it's big. I got it, I used it, loved it, but I couldn't really carry it around a lot because it didn't fit in my pen pouch. At some point, I sold it to my dear friend Ivan. And of all the pens I have sold, and I have sold a lot of pens, not even dozens. We've come to the point where I've sold a few hundred. One I missed, and that was my 360. Now, fortunately, the 360 Magnum is not extremely difficult to find if you look around on eBay, but especially at pen shows, you see them a lot. November 2016, Madrid pen show. I looked at the table of the one-man pen show Sarge Minhas, and he had one. He had this with a medium nib, beautiful two-tone medium nib, and I had to have it. And Azizah gave it to me, which is great, because I love this pen. I love it. It's so good. It's so comfortable. The triangular thing, it works so well for me. Beautiful, nice, larger pen, piston filler, 18 karat gold nib. What more could you wish for? And it has some beautiful details, guys. I mean, very floppy paper, sorry. Greek key, center band, works well. The nib is beautiful. Look at that arrow. It's great, and it writes super smoothly. Just like the fine nib I had wrote super smoothly. Very, very pleasant. I love it, and triangular stuff, it's really weird. It really is, but give it a shot. And you can actually, you have to be very careful, but you can rotate the nib a bit. I would let someone do that with the proper tools, but you can do that if it doesn't suit the angle under which you write. But it's great. Downsides, yes, it's a pain to clean, because you can't really easily remove the nib and feed. Typically, there are tools available, you can pull it out, but I found the nib collars on Omas pens to be a bit fragile because they're ebonite and they can crack, and then it doesn't really work so well anymore. So I wouldn't take out the nib unless you absolutely have to. So it's a lot of drawing up ink and expelling it, ebonite feed, flows really well, but the ink kind of sticks in it. But all of that's worth it, because the pen is superb. I like the Omas 360 Magnum model, the vintage models. I had the Solitaire, which you can check out my review of that. That was an orange version, sort of like a charity thing, of that vintage style, which was a bit smaller. And I also did a shootout between the Magnum and what they call the vintage of the 90th anniversary set, where you can see the size difference, because it's quite pronounced. Okay, having said that, this is one of my favorite pens of all time. So within my collection, this one has a very special place. And I love it. Now you need to see how it writes. That's what we're going to be doing next. I hope this was useful, and I'll gladly see you later. Bye bye. Okay, the Omas 360 vintage. This is a medium nib, and the ink is just Waterman Tifcaf, the ink formerly known as Florida, but now Serenity Blue. I almost always have that in here. As I said, it's a little hard to clean, so I like to have washable blues in there. This is such a wonderful writer, smooth, without being slippery, just the right amount of feedback in that smoothness. I think it's really perfect, and for me format. It's a perfect pen. It's just wonderful. It's beautiful. As to its wetness, nice, well adjusted without being a gusher. It's not a super flexible nib, so don't expect too much in ways of line variation, but it's great. It does actually do reverse writing, so you can go from medium to fine, maybe even extra fine. It's great. I love it. I really love it. It's just such a comfortable model to use. I'm super happy I have this model back. And that's all there's to it. So I hope this was useful, and I'll gladly see you later. Bye bye. Bye.